What is going on? You know, I had to do a video, man. I had to put some content out because the debut of AEW Rampage just happened. That's right. I mean, usually we just drop the podcast, but your boy Kwency Jones Go really wanted to just, I don't know, a lot to unpack, right? But you know what? I got all good things to say, so I'm gonna take y'all through it. Y'all probably already seen it, so this is gonna be a quick review, strictly for social media, probably on YouTube and stuff like that. But again, we've been trying to get more into a lot more video content, and you know, we do the memes and stuff like that. I've been trying to get a little bit more on camera for you guys, but you know what? This is me doing it, so I don't want to hear anything. All I want to hear is y'all are following, subscribing, and liking everything that we're doing. And if you haven't yet, I'm about to give you guys a reason to. So without further ado, let's get into AEW Rampage. Starts off with Christian Cage facing off against the current belt collector himself, the Machine, Kenny Omega. Of course, they're fighting for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. I noticed a lot of things already. There was already a few different things that they employed with this new show that obviously they want to settle, the standard a little bit different and set it apart from the way they've been doing Dynamite. Of course, they don't want to do the same show twice, or else it's like, you know what I mean? They want to give it its own little identity. So I got this. One big thing was I saw Dasha was doing commentary, or not commentary, excuse me, ring announcing. Dasha was doing the ring announcing as opposed to Dapper Yapper Justin Roberts as per usual. But speaking of commentary, as you can see, I'm still excited on the heels of Rampage. There was a 4-man booth. I don't know if I'm 100% convinced yet. It could be this is just brand new to me. I think that's a lot of heads in one booth. That's all I was gonna say. But they did kind of effortlessly, I don't say effortlessly, they didn't seem to step on each other's toes too much. In fact, they seemed to set each other up more than talk over each other. But I think one of the good things that I noticed, because I had already a certain aspect I was thinking about as far as the 4-man booth, but then as the show went on, Mark Henry became more of like a floating fourth, you know what I mean? Because it was Excalibur, Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, and of course it was Taz. But Mark Henry, he was not sitting down on the job. He was doing some other things, doing some sit downs that we're going to get into later. But I digress. Let's get into the show, man. Again, another thing I noticed was the way they were filming it. The position of the hard cam was different and is different than the way that they use it on Dynamite. So maybe it was just me, but damn, dude, it made the ring look huge. Like, I know that the 20x20s are like the standard TV size. WWE uses them all the time. Mostly other companies that, manage to get a TV deal, they use them all the time as well. But I don't know. There's something about the way that they were filming it. It was great. Big fight Phil, as they say. I pine on. Let me get into it, as you can say. A few spots here. We saw Christian actually give the finger guns to Kenny Omega himself. Follows with a middle finger, of course. We got the one-winged angel tease a little bit early, but then Cage countered with a kill switch tease of his own, and it was actually really unique. Crowd was really hot. Honestly, great match to start and open up with. Again, the crowd, I didn't know how they were going to react to the fact that it was the Impact Championship on the line and all that stuff, whatever. But, they really knew what they were doing. They knew they were the opening match. They knew Britt Baker was taking the main event. And even just that spot in itself, as simple as it is, it's like, hey, let's test the waters to see how much the fans really want to see this go down. And I thought that was the perfect thermometer as far as, like, where to go from the match here, you know what I mean? But anyways, Omega hits the You Can't Escape Fireman carry forward roll with the moonsault. Christian hits the big reverse DDT. Kenny hits the running V trigger for a near fall, misses another as the crowd was hot for Christian's near fall after hitting the big spear. We see back-to-back Snapdragons on Cage, but Cage follows up with the huge frog splash off the top for what seemed like a 2.9 out of 3. But we see the finish and the big title change. That's why I'm saying a big title change. It was a moment, you know what I mean? Christian Cage not only pinned Omega for the Impact Championship with the kill switch, but yes, he actually pinned Omega, the belt collector himself. You know what I mean? Like, he's been on this roll. No one's been able to beat him. It's always shenanigans in his matches. I get it. And obviously shenanigans were here in this match as, there was some, spade's a spade. The Bucks came out, but we had Don Callis distracting a ref. And while the ref is distracted, you got the low blow from Kenny first, and then you got the Bucks sliding the chair in, but then Christian Cage, the crafty vet, kill switch on the chair, new Impact World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, you love to see it. You love to see it. For me, I felt like, again, because of the fact that Christian Cage has been undefeated, he came into this match undefeated and left undefeated, but left as a champion, as the one who is the first to beat Kenny Omega and cause a loss in his win-loss record. To me, that's kind of evident as far as where in the food chain that Tony Khan sees Christian Cage, which is a good thing. I'm not against that. Now here's my hot take. I had to have one. With Cage taking the Impact Championship off Omega, many obviously have been questioning whether or not this is, maybe a hint that they're not going to go ahead with the planned Omega Cage match for the World Championship, AEW Championship over at All Out. But word is that Hangman was always scheduled to have this time off around this time. From also what I'm hearing, he's, I don't doubt this because of the fact that he just became a new father. So, take that with what you will. I mean, it's his personal life. I know some of us are booking this in our head, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm along for the ride too. I'm a huge Hangman fan. So for me to say that, hey, take it with a grain of salt. You already know what I'm doing over here. But on the hot take, again, a lot of people are thinking maybe, they're going to try to squeeze Hangman back in for the all-out slot. I don't think so. I think if anything, this is indicative of Kenny Omega getting his win back. I think they're going to keep going forward with the championship match with Christian Cage against Kenny Omega at All Out, September 5th, Chicago. But I don't think he's going to win. I mean, he already took one belt off of him, right? So he already has that trophy. But I think Kenny's going to get the win back. He's going to retain the AEW championship, which, still leaves the door open for another competitor that's going to be the person that's going to be able to stake the claim as the one to take that particular championship off of him. The only other hot take is I noticed that they were doing a lot to kind of undermine Impact. They talked about the championship, but they were like, but the prize of all prizes is our championship, which I get. It's your company. You got to make sure you got to promote that you're the best of the best of the best, no matter who you're working with, because they're going to be doing the same thing. But yeah, it seemed like it was just kind of, second fiddle to what was going on. But hey, a championship win's a championship win. Shout out to Christian Cage. I mean, hey, got to do big things for the first episode. So yeah, anyways, moving on. We had the Fuego Del Sol video package. I love this. And I got to tell you, my favorite part is when he said, and they got to start making a t-shirt for this guy, God's favorite champion is going to be baptized by fire. I popped for it. I'll get into it. Man. Fuego Del Sol versus Miro, not only for the AEW championship, but also there's a contract on the line. He got the jacket from the Nightmare Family. He's still training with the Nightmare Family technically, but he's not officially All Elite. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to take you through it right now, man. Right off the bat, Fuego Del Sol hits the tornado DDT before the bell. What? Bell rings. And another huge tornado DDT. This time, where's it from? Off the top rope. The whole crowd starts realizing, because Miro rolls out of the ring at this point, the whole crowd starts realizing, hey, I think realistically, we love Fuego. Is he the one to beat Miro for that strap? No, but a countout win could give him what he needs, not only for him, but his big family. As if you know. But what the fans want to see, to give him that championship, or I'm sorry, that contract. So a lot of people started counting and getting, with the count. It got real close. Obviously, Miro managed to roll back in. But again, another tornado DDT. Crowd is going nuts for a near fall. Again, of course, Miro got to at some point regain the dominance. He's God's favorite champion. You know what I'm saying? Hits the Samoan drop, or I should say the Bulgarian drop, as Jericho said, and then follows with the Machka kick. Finishes with the game over, signaling for the end of the dream for Fuego Del Sol. And then Miro even manages to rip the contract up in the middle of the ring to add just a little bit of salt to the wound. This was my hot take on this match. I didn't mind this match. It wasn't that long. I knew they were going to have to, it wasn't necessarily filler. Like, you knew it was. in terms of, because you knew that there was the 2 championship matches already. I didn't realize this was going to be only a 1 hour show. So I was like, okay, they got to fill something in as they got the main event already announced. And we just saw the opening. So, but this was not a filler match. Like, it didn't feel like a filler match. Like, you know what I mean? Time wise, it was, but they made this really special. That's why I didn't mind this match at all. Felt like they really worked, the way, I don't know. It's just, I felt like the match was worked the way it should have been. And when I say that, I mean, I definitely was surprised that Miro was like, yo, I'm giving Fuego all this offense. You know what I mean? Which to me, still the right thing to do. And I know, again, I know I'm mad biased. I'm a huge fan of Fuego. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I fucks with the Vlog crew, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But as much as I love Fuego, he couldn't be the guy that was going to break the win streak of God's favorite champion. I'm just saying, like, I think, again, Jericho was saying it pretty much just from the jump, like, just realistically, I know everyone wants the dream, but I mean, I know that he wasn't going to be the guy, but I was interested to see how they were going to use him. Obviously, he's been on TV the last couple of weeks, being a kind of a punching bag to a few of the greats, though. It's still getting that TV time, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, again, shout out to Fuego, because trust me, they can't ignore that reaction at all. And I hate to say, based on even like a recent example, like not even Karrion Kross is getting that reaction on the main roster. I even dare say not a lot of people on NXT is getting that huge of a reaction every single time they come out, if your name is not Adam Cole, Cameron Grimes, or the Hit Row. But as I say that, who would have known that we would have been having another great moment coming back from commercial? Fuego finally comes to, and he sees the ripped up contract. He's kind of basking in the loss. I don't want to say basking, but he's distraught, obviously. And then Sammy Guevara's music hits, and you see him. He's not alone. He comes out with Tony Khan, who whispers something in his ear, hands him a clipboard, and the crowd is buzzing. And you knew I was super, like, I had anxiety in the best way, because it was like, it reminded me a lot of that moment that happened in CWC, the Cruiserweight Classic, back when NXT was still on the network, and Cedric Alexander wasn't signed, but he had a great match against Dakota Ibushi, and the crowd was like, chanting, sign Cedric, and all of a sudden, unplanned, Triple H just comes out from behind the curtain, and he you know what I mean? It was kind of a cool little month. It reminded me a lot of this, because as we see, his best friend, Sammy Guevara, was tasked with the very job to give him a job, and that's present Fuego with the contract, and he is officially all elite. And he's not going to be the only one by the end of the night, and we're going to get into that next. Trust. But again, man, congrats to Fuego. I mean, shoo. I'm saying, start printing them t-shirts. Start printing the merch. I know that he's going to be moving some merch, because I will buy some. Trust me, if I haven't already. I think I got a lot, but it's all good. Anyways, from here we see Darby and Sting in the rafters, as they kind of use that as a segue, because I was like, well, they weren't really advertised to be there. I guess it was just kind of just show like, hey, we got the stars out tonight. But again, they use that as a segue into a video package that was highlighting that specific quote that we heard from Darby Allin a few weeks ago, where he was calling out the competition to pretty much come to AEW to prove, their worth, even those who claim that they are, in fact, the best in the world. A wink, a wink. And, obviously did a little bit of cross promotion, used that to also, hype up the Rampage going down August 13th. Of course, everyone knows, next Friday, right before SummerSlam. I mean, the rumored return of CM Punk going down at the United Center. I mean, look, hot take. You ready? Who thought I'd have a hot take here? If you didn't watch SmackDown, I urge you to check it out. Or mostly just check out the Roman Reigns, John Cena segment. I'm sure there's going to be quotables by the time this is up. Or feel free to check out the latest episode of Flow Show. We're going to be talking about it, in detail, dropping on Sunday, so don't even trip. We got you, of course. But dude, just in the last 24 hours between AEW Rampage and SmackDown, there's just been a ton of teasing, taunting, and just, I feel a little bit of disingenuous referencing being piled on just a little bit on both sides. You had John Cena with the whole, when I win the belt, I'm gonna jump in the barricade and run out of the arena, and I might even blow you a kiss. I'm like, oh, I wonder who that happened to and who that was. Huh. And they keep referencing this Summer of Cena thing. And I'm like, that Summer of Cena is not a thing. It's Summer of Punk, but whatever. Anyways, I think it's one of those things where I hope we're not building ourselves up for a little bit of disappointment as we usually do. But if it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? I personally would like to see Mr. Phil Brooks, Mr. CM Punk return in any capacity for any company, to be honest. But that's just me. I can't speak for everyone. There's still a lot of y'all with neck beards living in the basement that are calling him a quitter. So whatever. Go and get a job. Go get a job. Oh, you can't. You can't. I'm sorry. It is what it is. All right. Anyways, from here we had Red Velvet from versus Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship. But first, we had a little bit of a remote sit down with Mark Henry with both women as he interviews both before the main event, which I thought timing wise was different. I don't know if it was off necessarily. I mean, I'm so programmed to how WWE formats their show, and I'm thinking that's just the norm. That's just the frame, the outline. That's, you know what I mean, the template for everything. But I had to learn that it doesn't have to be the end all be all. There's room for different techniques and different presentation here, but just in general, like I said, it felt different in terms of placement and format of the show, but I actually enjoyed the presentation of this. So Britt says that Velvet didn't rain on her parade because look, boo, it don't rain in Britsburg as long as I'm champ. Love that. I mean, Britt she's tremendous on the mic. I mean, this was awesome. Love the segment overall. Hot take. This is going to be a little bit random, but Red Velvet has the same promo style as Zelina Vega. I know, like I said, it was random. I did, but watch her promo and then watch Zelina's promo a week ago. And it's just, I don't know if it's the pacing or the accent. It took me there. I don't know, man. I mean, anyways, Britt Baker, of course, super over, as we can imagine, but we get into the main event here. Red Velvet, Britt Baker, AEW Women's Championship. Baker comes in his match with the soft cast to protect her wrist, but the crowd is still well behind her, the hometown champ, and booing literally like everything, anything, any kind of offense that Red Velvet is trying to execute or executes. They are not having it. Beautiful Insecurity. Nope. Hate it. Beautifully executed moonsault. Hated it. Nothing. Baker lands the face stomp during the picture-in-picture, but we come back and Velvet lands a see it, which again, crowd didn't like it, and they really hate it because she follows up with a jumping arm breaker on the injured wrist. Baker hits the fisherman neck breaker and attempts to lock jaw, but Velvet counters for a near fall and rips off the soft cast. Again, crowd is raining down boos now. At one point, Paul Turner, the referee, throws out Rebel, and crowd hates him as well. Velvet with another near fall after landing the super kick and the moonsault from the top rope. Baker comes back with the kneecap brainbuster. Wonder who she got that from, baby. And follows with the curb stomp while Jericho is pretty much what he says. Yeah, that's a real curb stomp. I assume this shit on Seth Rollins, but I digress. Man. At one point, Red Velvet tries to set up Baker in her own lockjaw submission. Baker's able to counter and break out, but Velvet manages to slam her injured wrist on the mat and was able to break out. But man, just the IQ, of a doctor, the DMD just kicked in as she switched up, locked in the lockjaw with the alternate arm for the win. Tap out victory. Still DMD in Britsburg. That's right, Britt Baker going home, sending the people home happy. But let's talk about this little post match. I told y'all there was another person that was going to be officially all elite here. Post match, we had a little beat down. The champ, I mean, it was kind of weird because I guess they had to figure out how they were going to set this up somehow. But if you remember, Britt Baker was talking a little bit about having maybe some, I don't know, backup coming through, join the team a little bit, add a little muscle to the squad a couple of weeks ago. But Post-match, she immediately is attacking Red Velvet again, hits another fisherman neck breaker, is looking to go for the curb stomp, except this time on the championship belt. But Chris Statlander, who's not only number one, who's not only an alien, but she was also in the front row, jumps the barricade, comes out for the save. But then this hooded, or I don't want to say she was hooded because she just had all black on with like a black hat pulled low. But she just stormed the ring, and just Mystery Woman started putting the boots to Statlander and started putting the boots to Red Velvet as well, helping out Britt Baker, just stomping her out. And then commentary was able to identify her as Jamie Hayter, which I was kind of surprised because, I believe it was January 2020. She had a match with Piper Niven for NXT UK. A lot of people thought that she was, NXT UK, she was WWE, she was sewn up, but apparently not. I mean, it was, like I said, not only did Fuego become officially All Elite, after Rampage went off the show, they actually already posted a brand new graphic of Jamie Hayter, All Elite, officially as well. So congrats to her. Congrats to All Elite all in all, man. A great first episode, man. I enjoyed it all. I mean, if it's only going to be an hour, I think that's smart, from 10 to 11. I thought they were going to do another 2-hour format, but it gives you it reminds you of like NXT back in the day, where it was like, you knew it was only an hour. So you kind of kept your eyes peeled because, they can only put so much in that hour. And, you just didn't know what was going to be, what combination of people, what matches, what segments, what promos. So this was cool. I like this. This was a great first episode, man. Yeah, man. I mean, that's all I can really say. I mean, like I said, we got a new champ, we got a new two new contracted talents, and then we got and new or the same, I guess, and still I should say DMD champion Britt Baker. Good showing. But yeah, man, that was the debut episode of AEW Rampage. Tell us what you think, man. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, just whatever you liked, whatever you didn't like. Make your voices heard on the comments below, man. Be sure to follow me, Kwency Jones Go. That's everywhere on social media. And of course, follow the Kwency Jones Show, as well as For the Love of Wrestling Pod. That's everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, as well as Facebook and YouTube. And just follow us. We got the link tree in the bio for more content and more memes, more stuff coming, as your boy's going to be reporting live from Las Vegas. That's right. I'm going to be going to SummerSlam. So more on that next week. Until then, it's been Kwency Jones. Peace.